everyone, this is Peak Entertainment and we're back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to talk about Henry Cavill and whether he will ever fulfill that potential to become a true prolific A-list movie superstar. Having certainly been renowned and active now for the last 10 years, the British actor who was born way back in 1983 really first came into prominence with minor roles in films such as The Count of Monte Cristo and Stardust. He also had a very limited role in the television series The Tudors from 2008. He then broke further ground in the CGI historical epic The Immortals from 2011, and then of course his first major breakthrough role came when being cast as Superman in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel back in 2013, which then had high hopes to become the first big entry in the very large DC cinematic universe. Now, despite the film grossing over $668 million worldwide, the interpretation just never caught on truly with audiences in a way that it should have done. Now, one would have felt that playing the greatest ever comic book superhero would have been a passport to mainstream success. We only have to look at what Thor did for Chris Hemsworth, what Wolverine did for Hugh Jackman, and also what Deadpool did for Ryan Reynolds. But Henry Cavill just hasn't seen that same level of high-profile success. Now, ever since Man of Steel, he went on to star in the likes of Guy Ritchie's The Man from U.N.C.L.E., also in Mission Impossible Fallout in 2018, and then he would later go on to take part in the Witcher series, produced by Netflix, from 2020 onwards for 3 seasons. Now, whilst he did perform well in all of those projects, none of those have managed to catapult him to true A-list superstar status. Now, of course, when we mention A-list status, we mean the ability to headline any movie regardless of release date, genre, reception, and very much garner that film to blockbuster levels of box office. The film itself becomes a hit purely because of the actor who stars in the lead role. Now, both the 1980s and 90s garnered a whole host of iconic movie stars who managed to gain themselves true A-list superstar status. But that concept itself has largely become an endangered species, certainly for the last 10 to 15 years or so, minus a few exceptions. We look at the likes of Tom Cruise and Denzel Washington, who are still active today but are very much in the later phases of their careers, whilst other examples probably include the likes of Leonardo DiCaprio and Dwayne Johnson. Now, the near extinction of the A-list movie star status is thanks largely to the emergence of streaming and the reliance more on proven IP and ensemble casting, but the potential is still there for an actor or an actress to really rise up and succeed if they have enough in terms of looks and talent. And many fans would look at Henry Cavill and say that he 100% should be a movie star. He has the look, the very good reception with fans, especially the female fan base, and he certainly exhibits a level of professionalism and savviness in terms of his media appearances, always saying the right thing, and there's been no big scandal or controversy or toxicity surrounding his presence on or off screen. So in short, he has simply everything that there is to become a truly massive movie superstar, but somehow it still hasn't worked out. So what's the reason for this then? Why isn't Henry Cavill currently sitting at the top of the Hollywood hierarchy? Well, whilst not being the only reason, we do have to look first at the role of Superman and how it has very much been mishandled by Warner Brothers, from its characterization, the fact that Henry Cavill never got a full run of standalone movies. When we look at other characters such as the likes of Iron Man, Ant-Man, Thor, Deadpool, Guardians of the Galaxy, all of those characters managed to get at least 2, sometimes 3 or even 4 films, which all helped to maintain their actors' prolific status. And for such a long time, Warner Brothers really didn't know what they wanted to do with the character of Superman, sidelining him to second billing for Batman's sake in Batman vs Superman, and all of this just left Henry Cavill in a state of limbo. And we had so many years of speculation and rumours regarding his contract and his ongoing participation within the DCU, only for him to be very much manipulated into an end credit sequence for Black Adam, for which the whole exercise ended up being such a mess, very much embarrassing him as he went to announce on Instagram that he was going to return in Superman, before literally 8 weeks later we had the announcement that the franchise would be rebooted with a new creative team being helmed by both James Gunn and Peter Safran. But we just can't blame everything on Superman, and we first have to look at Cavill in terms of his other movies, and sadly they just haven't been as interesting or appealing enough to attract audiences on a large scale. Everything from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. or Argyle and his most recent effort, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, a very convoluted title in itself, and that film itself sadly underperformed at the recent weekend within the US box office, only managing to gross over 9 million in its opening weekend. And as we veered more and more away from the role of Superman and look more to his standalone efforts, it's looking increasingly unlikely that Henry Cavill can't reach that true A-list superstar status that so many people deem him worthy to be. Now, we do have to be fair here that he's still only 40 years old, and many actors have broken through past that age previously before, and he can still have many opportunities as long as he maintains his level of professionalism and also keeps himself in good shape. But we do ask, how often will these big event films come along for him? He seemingly missed out on the opportunity to play James Bond, a role I really think he would have truly exceeded at and very much brought him that mainstream prominence. I honestly feel that casting him in the lead role as James Bond would pretty much guarantee you a near $1 billion success for that particular instalment. Now, he does have the likes of both Highlander and the supposed Warhammer 40k projects in the future, but those are way off down the pipeline and again are no box office guarantees. We also have to consider the very faint speculation that Henry Cavill is supposedly difficult to work with. We had all of the gossip and rumours surrounding the Witcher production, how he was very critical of the writing and characterisation and the direction that they were taking the series in. But to be fair, much of this was eventually debunked, and to be honest, there have been no other stories surrounding the other projects that Henry Cavill has been involved in. So when assessing his career at this point, I feel ultimately Henry Cavill needs to pick better scripts, choose better concepts, and ultimately better quality movies. Maybe he needs to diversify a bit more in terms of genres, maybe star in a science fiction project, maybe some romantic dramas or comedies. Pick roles that can really stretch his range in terms of an acting performance. And as I say, he's still got plenty of time to hopefully succeed, and who knows, if he keeps himself active enough now that he's free from Warner Brothers and the whole DCEU, then maybe down the line he will eventually catch fire and pick that project that can truly propel him to superstar status. We'll wait and see, but for now, sadly, Henry Cavill isn't quite the megastar that certainly the online perception would have you believe that he is. So those are my thoughts and feelings when looking at the current stage of Henry Cavill and his career, and following his recent movie releases, and whether he can become an overall A-list superstar or not. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any other topics or movies or television series that you'd like to see me cover within the channel, then also let me know within the comments, and I will see if I can provide further commentary for you on that subject matter within the future. Please also hit like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon.